Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Omnifactory. In the last episode, we started work on our DML revamp, hopefully for the last time. And I've been doing a little bit more work off camera on moving over some of the simulation chambers we're going to need for late game. I've also started to decorate this room a little bit more. I've added some more walls and I neatened up this area a bit as well. And then I've been adding all the wiring for all of these simulation chambers here. Currently I've made some Guardian models as well as some Wither models. I've got 32 Withers here and 8 Guardians. Most of these are also going to be Dragon. I'm trying to decide exactly how many I want to have. We're going to need a lot of Dragon models because of this catalyst. I think it's the Eternal Catalyst. Yeah, for this ultimate material, this is used a lot. So the Guardian scales we get from the pristine Guardian matter. So I have 8 to cover this. This gives us 4 at a time. And then the Wither bones we get from the Wither, which I have half a stack of. And then the rest we need Ender Dragon scales for. However, we also need this Dragon layer data from the Ender Dragons, which means we have to have more than to cover the cost of this ultimate material. But it's a bit difficult to decide exactly how much to actually have. Because this Dragon layer data you can also make just in the crafting recipe. And we can use Impossible Realm data, which can be crafted like this. Or we can use Enderman matter for this, so we're going to have some Enderman matter anyway for emeralds. Let's maybe do a stack and a half of dragon, so 96 to begin with, and if we need to add more, we can add more. So I'm going to fill out these remaining simulation chambers with the dragon ones, and then I'll continue to move the rest of these over in the spaces we have left. And then I think next we'll set up the loot fabricators. So I'm going to move all these loot fabs over. Again, most of these things we actually don't need anymore. I was looking through some of these things, like, for example, spider. Like, I don't even know if we need any spider anymore, because obviously we don't need copper. Spider eye, I can't really see any uses for this that we're going to actually need. Maybe we need some string for making these carbon meshes. But this is only used in the pulsating mesh to make more DML stuff. Oh, I guess it's also used in these cells as well. So maybe we will have to add a spider for string. But like the witch, I don't know if we need witch anymore. Like, because we don't need redstone or glowstone, but we might need sugar. Although sugar we can get from sugarcane, which is probably a bit easier. So I don't actually think we need witch anymore. We're gonna need thermal. How many thermal though? I'm not actually sure. We'll probably just move over what we've got, and then if we need to add more, we can add more later on. Same with blaze. I think we'll just move over what we've got. I think we have 4 here just now. I just wanted to like give a quick update at this point, and then I'm going to try and move over some more stuff, and then probably get all these conduit facades in, clean up this area and get it finalized. As finalized as we're going to make it just now, and we can, if we have to add more, if we discover we need more data models down the line, we can add them. But then after this, I think the next thing we're going to tackle is power, because all of these dragon data models, as I mentioned before, are really expensive to run power-wise. And I don't think it's going to be enough, or this power is not going to be enough until we get creative RF, because we're still a little bit away from that. So although we are, 3 million RF positive right now, like basically nothing is running. And that's going to get eaten really quickly. So I was thinking about the Nequadria reactor, or I don't know what it's called. It's in one of these quests that we missed. Late game Naquada reactor. This thing. This thing is basically free, since we can tank Nequadria and use the fuel. We just have to actually build this thing. So I think we'll look into that today. Maybe build one of those. Alright, so I decided to get it all out of the way and just move over all of the DML setups that we had. Apart from the loot fabricators, I mean, all the simulation chambers are now moved from here. And I've situated them all up in our new base. I even put in all the facades as well, so all of these have conduits behind them. And then here we've got applied energistics facades on the storage monitors. So yeah, I'm not 100% confident on the ratios that I have in terms of the amount of data models. I have the wither. I moved all of our shulkers over. So the shulkers are these 3 here plus this side. I think this full row and this full row is all shulker. And then I also added the thermals. I think I have 2 rows of those. 1.5 kind of. And then some blazes. I did a spider as well, just the one. And then We also have 2 creepers here for coal. And then Enderman. I think I have 2 rows of Enderman maybe. Yeah, this row here and this row here is all Enderman. And then the 4 at the bottom is dragon. So this one, this one, this one, and this one is all dragon data models. And all of it is being directly input into this drawer controller. Originally I was going to put it into these interfaces that was here. But if I was to extract from these simulation chambers and put them straight into the interface, there could be a situation where these drawers fill up and these continue to run, and basically it'll fill all the drives with matter and also pristines. And I didn't really want that. I wanted to have a limit. And when these drawers fill up, I'm content just having these shut off, right? We don't need to have these running if we have such a big buffer, especially when these are fully upgraded. Oops. So instead of inputting into this interface, I bypassed it and just put the conduit around it. And then all of these converge to this line here and then input straight into the drawer controller, which is connected back here on the blue channel. And then the same situation as I had downstairs, I've got void upgrades on all the matters. So the extraterrestrial, the hellish, and the overworlding matter all have void upgrades, plus they're fully upgraded. And then these I'm just leaving to fill up, and if they fill up, the simulation chambers will stop. But yeah, I think this turned out quite good. And the only thing I'm considering changing is this roof height here, because when you're in here it feels a little bit cramped. I might open this side up and take like this these blocks away here just to open it up a little bit and take it up to the height of our simulation chambers. But I'm only going to do that once I know what the maximum height is going to be, once we're confident in the amount of simulation chambers that we have. I also haven't included the witch or the, what was the other one I missed out? Ghast. I didn't add any ghast or zombies. We might have to add those in because I don't have any of those yet. But do we even need zombies? Or rotten flesh maybe? I don't think so. But if it turns out we do, it's easy enough to add it. As you've seen, we've got plenty of space on the left hand side. And then slime, I might have to add some slime just for slime balls. Next thing to do then is get all the loot fabricators situated. And I think I'll just leave these drawers here. Maybe set them on lower priority so that these get used first. But I think I'll just do that right now. I'll put them on priority 0 so that the items from these drawers are consumed before the new stuff that we're producing. So let's start setting up our loot fabs. I don't think there's going to be any easy way to do this. And there's also going to be a lot of level limiter configuration going on. So I'll probably just cut this out because it's going to be a lot of clicking and breaking these blocks to access these. Copy and pasting conduits. Basically what I've been doing for the last 2 hours already. Yeah, we're also going to have a ME connection over here as well. So I'll have to run some more cable underneath the floor. Yeah, I'm just going to make a start on this and then I'll come back when this is mostly finished, I think. Okay, so I got most of this loot fabrication configured here. However, I'm running out of space here, so I'm going to have to expand these loot fabs somehow. One option is to go vertically, but if we go vertically, I don't think we're actually going to fill all of that space. Another solution is maybe to move this doorway over, so that we have it in line with this. So instead of entering here, we can enter this room in here. And this way it gives a more of a symmetrical entrance design to the different rooms. And then I'll maybe have like a little service entrance to this area here, just to see if we ever have to access these processing arrays. And this way it allows us to add at least 4 more loot fabricators, which I think will be enough. I was able to take one away or an extra one away since we don't need obsidian dust. The way I'm getting obsidian dust now is via fluid solidification. So I'm solidifying into obsidian from lava and then macerating that into obsidian dust. And the way I was doing it before was just using the loot fabricator. This process here is quite slow, even though we're at LUV. I think it's going to be fast enough to make obsidian dust for us. If not, we can always add in the obsidian dust loot fab later on anyway. But yeah, these 4 are going to be for the ender dragon. And it's possible I've also missed something out as well. Oh, actually, I don't have wither on here, do I? I'll need to add wither. And also ender pearls. I don't have ender pearls on here. Okay, so it's now the next day. I managed to get a lot of this finished off last night. I did end up opening up this area like I mentioned. I put the white roof on this as well and gave it a bit of a touch up on the walls. I think it turned out really nice. And I added the extra loot fabs as well. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out overall. and all of our things have facades on. Apart from these 2 blocks here, but that's just because we're going to expand it. So everything that's finished has all the facades and things on it. I still have to put a roof on this room. I think the change to this wall was much needed, and it does open it up a little bit more, rather than having pillars here. I like the more open feel of this. I also did a little bit more building on this side of the base as well. So I'll kind of walk around. I'm not sure exactly what you've seen before and what not, because like every other time I fly past somewhere, I'll just think, oh, that needs a block here, or this could do with a change. And so I'll just add some things, little details like these roof tiles on just to round out the edges. And I did end up keeping the windows in some of these places, since we have like facades on here. Oh, looks like I missed those blocks there. Since we have like facades and it looks presentable enough from this angle, I decided to keep the windows in just to make it a bit more, or a bit less enclosed feeling. So this room here all has windows around this side. But yeah, I also extended the roof over on this room here. I upgraded the crafting CPUs a bit more as well. I added these crafting monitors to be able to show what's crafted. These empty slots on the end most likely are going to be for more crafting CPUs and storages, because for the late game stuff we're going to need like a lot more capability than we have with these 8 CPUs here. But I think the molecular assemblers are just going to be just fine with the spaces we have. We have a lot of space unused. And yeah, I started this wall over on this side to connect this room up with the staircase, and I decided to raise the floor on this as well, just to give it a bit more depth. And this room here we're going to be constantly adding to as we need things, more fluids and more fluid solidifiers. This wall here is also going to be fluid solidifiers, I think. We're just going to mirror this setup on this side. But yeah, it's really coming together. And I checked the power after I set up all that DML, and it's actually not as bad as I thought. So although I said we might tackle power today, I think I'm just going to put that off until we actually need it. And I think instead we're going to just work towards the creative RF source. So I'm not sure exactly what the first step should be. So maybe let's just look at the recipe and this will inform our decisions. So obviously this is for the creative vending, but we're going to use it as a creative RF source. We're going to make one. And there's honestly quite a lot of components here that we have to gather up. We'll have to redo our draconic fusion. So we'll probably end up dedicating a whole room to that, because we're going to have quite a lot. We're going to have some for passive things and some for on-demand. Let's see what else here. Well, we'll also need a room for extended crafting as well. We'll have to have multiple sets of extended crafting tables next to unpackagers for these bigger craft automations. So I might just flip a coin just to see what we do next, because I mean all of it's going to have to get done eventually. It's just a case of like picking a rabbit hole to jump down. Alright, so I've been having a bit of a think about how I want to lay this out, and I think I'm going to leave some more tech progression stuff for next episode, and I'll finish off today I think by doing some more building. And I think we'll try and develop this end of the base. Maybe we'll even upgrade our energy ball as well. So in fact, let's order another energy core stabilizer. Or wait, no, energy core. Yeah, I'll order another energy core, and then we're going to upgrade to the tier 8 energy ball, which basically it's impossible to fill without RF, creative RF. And even at that, it takes like a year. So if we go off this guide here, it says we need 672 awakened and 492 regular draconium. And that might seem quite expensive, but now that we have creative tank, it's pretty much free. So yeah, I'm going to lower this, like I mentioned before, so that we can have the clear view to the sunset, and we'll put our draconic energy ball below. Maybe we have the same amount of stairs that we have over here. So that was 7 from this level. Actually, you know what? Let's get the copy paste gadget out. That'll be a bit easier to work with. And if we anchor it in place and then we do -7 on the y-axis, that should put us in the correct spot. Alright, so stairs are in. Now we have to think about the placement of the center of this energy core. So is the craft finished? It is. So I think it's a sensible idea to keep it in the center of a chunk. So maybe we'll expand this out one more. There, and then we'll put it right in the center of this. Okay, so I counted the blocks over there. That this thing is actually going to end up quite big, especially if we make it off the ground here. So maybe we'll actually lower it, so we can have the energy core something like right there, and then just dig a hole into here, and then maybe lower where the actual ball itself sits. Okay, this thing wanted me to clear a bigger chunk than I expected, but I think it's going to let me assemble it now, so let's do the fun part and select maximum tier and hit assemble. I love this. This is so satisfying to place all these blocks like this. And we still have to add the stabilizers, but I can do that, and I'll probably just take the ones off that actually. Oh, this thing is huge. Maybe I should have raised it a few more blocks. Wow, this is taking forever. Can you imagine making all this awakened draconium pre-tank? That'd be insane. I think we're almost there. Alright, is it done? I think so. Actually, you know what? I was gonna take that one down, but that will cut power to our whole base, and I really don't want to do that. So I think I'll just make some more stabilizers, and we need 36 of these, I believe. This isn't actually expensive, is it? Like, it doesn't actually cost. I mean, it costs some luminescence, but these can be used later on for the RF source anyway, so we're gonna use them. We might as well just craft a spare set. Yeah, I think this height is going to be just fine as is. We still have the view of the sun. I'm waiting still on these energy stabilizers crafting, but I wanted to lay this out, and I had the idea of like maybe encasing it in black. So maybe like make this like a really dark room and like a sphere around it, and then we'll have like exits to this room, like maybe like here, that go down some more corridors to more crafting rooms on both sides. And then I'll put the energy pylons here for the input and the output of the draconic energy ball. And then run all the wires like underneath the base, like the superconductor wires underneath here to connect up with the rest of the base. I think this is going to work out really nicely actually. And while I was waiting on those stabilizers, I decided to maybe try and tackle these fusion quests just to get them out of the way, because this quest here blocks the end game tab. Yeah, it blocks this Mote of Omnium quest because it wants these final elements. So I was having a look at the requirements for this, and I managed to make this LEB fuel. I'm running this through the reactor right now. It seems stable enough. We're still at minus 71,000 heat per tick. So I've run this through, and then I just have to centrifuge this. Oh, that's even the quest as well. So that leaves the Lu-233 and Californium fission. I think centrifuging this berkelium gives us the Californium-252 that we need to get this final depleted fuel. Yeah, and there's even the berkelium quest. So if we centrifuge this should give us 252. Yes, it does. Nice. So with this, we can now craft the last tier of fuel. Hopefully run it through the reactor safely. I really hope we can run this last fuel safely. So this we have to craft regularly. And then it wants LECF 251. Let's see if we can run this with appropriate heat, hopefully. Okay, yeah, we were nearly there. We were at like minus 26, but it did manage to go through. And then we centrifuge this fuel. Wait, actually, I had the wrong one. I had 251. We need 249. Hopefully we can run this through. That should be 2 quests. Californium fission. That leaves Lu-233 and the plutonium one. So we need 239. Can we craft this already? Hopefully. Yeah, we can. Nice. We must have had that from something else. So that's plutonium fission. That leaves this one, which wants 233. Can we make this? There's the other plutonium quest. Can we make 233? Oh, we can make 233, nice. And then we just have to run this through once and deplete it. That gives us the depleted and the quest, I assume. Alright, and what's this last one? Further adventures in fission. Oh, it's just a check mark. Awesome. So once we mark this should give us the last of the Omnium quests in the endgame tab. There's the quest there. And then we're just missing one in this quest tab, which is a stack of stabilized californium, which we should have. There it is. And that will also be the motive Omnium quest. Wait, it's not? I guess I've never held a motive Omnium before. Okay, let's craft one of those then. Oh, and of course this craft's stuck behind our stabilizers. There's still 8 left to craft. Yeah, I'm going to have to upgrade this ASAP because this crystalline is really slow. Either that or we fully passive crystalline, which is something I might have to end up doing. I'm actually really happy we got these quests out of the way. I thought we would have to build another reactor to run some of these fuels, but no, it turns out we were alright. And this will unlock the quests for the creative RF once we eventually get there. Oh, this needs 64 motes of Omnium. Oh man, alright, let's just do that later on then. Six more stabilizers to go. Alright, so I was able to finish all the stabilizers and activate the draconic energy core. I also developed the area a little bit more. I added some more walls and got the next few areas kind of figured out. The plan is to have this lead this way, and then we're going to have some more rooms underneath here for crafting and whatnot. Maybe some assembly line stuff will go underneath here. I think I'll put those two assembly lines. We're going to have more than 2 eventually, so it'll need a sizable room. So I think we'll put those underneath. And then yeah, as you can see, this is, it says capacity is almost infinite. I don't even know what number that is. Is that 9 trillion? No, it must be more than trillion. I don't even know. A lot of RF. We're basically never ever going to fill this. I'm still yet to hook it up. I'll probably do that at a later stage. Just since this one is sufficient for now. At least we know where this is going to sit now. Since this is quite a big multi-block, I wanted to get this placed. And then I built this just dark room around it. I think this looks quite cool. But yeah, I think that's about all the time I've got for today. This actually took me a long time, especially with all the DML reshuffling. It took me a lot longer than I thought it would. So I wanted to just get at least a bit more building done today. And next episode, I think we're going to definitely tackle some more tech stuff. Probably work on the auto crafting and the processing arrays. There's going to be a lot of other machines, like for example, things like this where we passive circuits. We're going to have like some GregTech machines like this. So I think I'll have the Reactor machines in this one. And we'll also need some place for a whole lot of crafters for passive crafting. So what I might do is have the same sort of entrance style as this, with a walkway through the middle of the room. And then maybe like have shelves of machines across both walls on both sides, for like Reactor machines that we're going to have things just passively crafting. And that'll allow us to clean more things up downstairs as well. So I think we're going to tackle that next time. And then the plan is still to keep the processing arrays in this room. Some of them for on-demand crafts, like all of these will be moved upstairs, and some will be just for passive, which will be constantly run or running controlled by a level emitter. And that will sit in this room here. This will probably end up being a duplicate of that room over there. And then maybe somehow we'll connect down here as well. Maybe we'll have like a little staircase going up here or something like that. I'm not sure yet. Anyways, yeah, that's all for next time. If you have any suggestions or comments, let me know. But again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more Omnifactory.